Hi guys, I'm Marissa and I like to bake. So it's been a while since I made a video. I have reasons. At the end of July, I went back to working in the office, and kind of as lockdown restrictions eased a little bit, I kind of focused on having more of maybe like a social life instead of just staying in and baking all the time. Crazy, I know. So naturally, my first video in October is gonna be something pumpkin because your girl loves pumpkin. I was like monitoring when the PSL was gonna be back at Starbucks. For those of you not in the know, that is pumpkin spice latte, PSL. As I said, I'm back in the office, so my coworkers get to influence what I bake. I've had requests for a pumpkin roll. I've never made a pumpkin roll before. Never made a rolled cake before. I see them make them on the Great British Bake Off. It looks like a pain in the ass, but here we are. So that's what we're gonna do today. Kind of changing up the format. I'm not gonna list ingredients and all that stuff, especially since this is just the first time I've ever made this. And I'm gonna do it on camera. And I'm just gonna have you guys follow the journey with me. And there's already certain elements of it that may or may not work out, but I'll show you guys that when we get to it. So let's start baking. Let's get started. Okay, first thing we need is 3/4 cup of flour. Okay, fourths. You all remember how I showed you how to measure things, right? Flour, how to measure flour. You scoop it, then level it. Scoop. I always sift my flour. It's not always necessary, whatever, but like, can't hurt. Okay, done with flour. Move that aside. I'm once again joined by my co-star, Coffee. You're probably, oh, I didn't want to, whatever. You guys know I have a Java stack now. I'm the one person that always falls for like the Instagram ads. And like real talk though, like I'm sick of there always being puddles next to my iced coffee and having to use napkins or paper towels or whatever. Not a paid sponsorship, just me really advocating for, I would argue people would say is a useless product, but I find useful. So just letting y'all know. I have it in 2 sizes, whatever. What's next? Okay, just like the normal baking accoutrement of baking soda, baking powder, salt, the standards. What do we need? I don't like in recipes when these 3 are not grouped together, because in this one it has the baking powder, baking soda together, but then the salt is after all the spices, but they're all going in the same. I don't know. I feel like these are just like the whatever ingredients, and the spices have their own. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, what do we need here? Half whole teaspoon. Okay, here we go. I usually like to sift my baking powder as well, because I've had instances where it's been a little chunky. And some people would say, oh, it must mean your baking powder's gone bad. No, I go through this stuff way too quickly for it to ever go bad. So that's that on that. Baking soda, and then salt. Salt gets a full teaspoon. No, it doesn't. It gets a 1/4. Always read your recipes multiple times. Multiple times. There. All right, that's your little standard baking trio in there. Done. Putting this aside. Spices. Okay, this we need, what does it say? It says cinnamon, cloves, and ginger. Oddly enough, no actual pumpkin pie spice, which I have. I have it in powder and liquid form, but first time trying this recipe, we're not gonna go rogue. I would love to. I often do. Not gonna do it this time. Let's stick to the script. What do we got first? Not ginger, but that's what I'm holding, so we're gonna go to ginger. 1/4. This we get a 1/2 teaspoon of the cinnamon. Good enough. And then the cloves. And this gets, I think, another quarter. Oh, good. All right. And that's all our dry ingredients. So we're gonna mix those up and then set them aside. I don't like mixing dry ingredients with a whisk. I feel like it just doesn't do the job. That looks pretty mixed. Moving on to wet ingredients. Now we are on to our wet ingredients and our sugar. So a lot of times with like these roll cakes, I know they're what is called like a fatless sponge, which pretty much means like a cake without butter in it. But I would argue that the pumpkin puree kind of provides, some type of fat. I don't know. Is this, it's ingredients pumpkin. That's it. Cool. 3 eggs, 1 cup of sugar, 2/3 cup canned pumpkin. I'm gonna put the eggs in first just in case we get some shell. Awesome, awesome. Always wash your hands after handling raw eggs. 1 cup of sugar going in. This is a lot of sugar. This is a lot of sugar to other things ratio. 1 cup, oh here we go. And then 2/3 cup canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. So, okay, I've never bought canned pumpkin pie filling before, so I don't like 100% know the difference, but my assumption is that pumpkin pie filling is already pre-spiced and pre-sweetened. So, pumpkin puree, as I said before, just pumpkin. Again, I'm gonna eyeball it because I don't feel like getting icky pumpkin puree in one of my measuring utensils and then having to clean that. I wish they sold smaller cans of this shit. Cause like now I got all this to use on something. And then I feel like the next recipe I look up for like a pumpkin bread or something is gonna call for more than I have left. And then it becomes like a whole thing. Ugh, okay, mix. It just says mix until thick. Also weird that this doesn't call for any like vanilla extract or anything, which is pretty typical in most recipes ever, but I was supposed to beat the eggs and sugar separately and then beat in the pumpkin. Let's just see what happens. How bad could it be? I'm gonna change to the whisk attachment just to see what happens. Okay, I might have messed up, but we're just gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep moving forward. Worst case scenario, I make it again. Which when like that would be the first time that's ever happened on this channel. Am I right? What's the next thing? Next thing is dry ingredients into wet ingredients. Let's do that. I'm just gonna like get rid of some of this stuff because there's a lot. Be right back. Ta-da! Less crap on the counter. All right, whoa, before we do anything, look at this spoopy ghost spatula I got. You kidding? I love it. Okay. Dry ingredients into wet ingredients. I'm just gonna stir them with the spatula. Let's see what happens here. One thing I like about this recipe I picked is that it has like a little how-to video with it, so I can like look and be like, oh, are my textures messed up? Don't look at my videos for that, because I often find I just accidentally fall into success with these things. It looks a little chunky, I don't know if that's right. Consult the video. The video didn't load fast enough and it looks like, oh, there it is. Show my ingredients, blah, 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 blah. Okay, theirs is a little chunky. I think it's gonna be fine. Okay, here's our mix. This is the part, all right. Remember earlier how I said there's one piece of this where I think it could potentially go awry? So the recipe calls for a 10 by 15 inch jelly roll pan. I don't have that. I don't know who has that other than people who make this on the reg. I'm not going to invest in this pan. And I realized that 10 minutes before starting filming, because I thought I could just use an ordinary, just like baking sheet and that was going to work. Then I actually read recipes, guys. Anyway, this is what I did. I just made like foil barricades, put the parchment. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get this in there. Just to dump it, then smooth it out. I have like just these flashes of like the Great British Bake Off where they try to make something like this and it turns out like rubber. And I'm just like, oh, come on, just please work, please work. I don't feel like making this again. If I have to make it again, I'm not filming it. I'm just gonna come at you with a new cake. Side note. Please bake. Please, please don't do me dirty. Please bake. Well, I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't, because I feel like when they make their like roll cakes, they don't use like a baking powder or a baking soda, which are leavening agents, so maybe I'll be okay. Maybe I'll be okay. Going in the oven for 13 to 15 minutes, gonna start it at 13. Move on to the next step. It said it'll be done when you like poke it and it bounces back, so that's what we're looking for here. Next step, while that's in the oven, is we have to prepare our towel with some powdered sugar. So this is what we're gonna use to roll it up. So what we gotta do is, fresh out of the oven, we have to roll it up in the towel and let it cool rolled up so that it holds its shape when we unroll it to put in the filling. I was reading the recipe, it recommends not, okay, this has like stains on it, but it's clean. I promise it's clean. So I have this, and we're just gonna sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. That's gonna help prevent it from sticking. So, you know, just get that all over your kitchen. I think I might use my sifty. I really hope that in my urgency to like get the cake out of the pan on this towel and rolled up, I don't burn myself. Like that feels highly likely. I feel good. Okay, this feels good. Got about 8.5 minutes left on our timer. Now we wait. All right, we're down to like 15 seconds. I'm gonna poke it and see if it's ready. If it's ready, I'm gonna take it out, dump it on the counter. All right? Is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? I'm marginally ready. 2, 1. All right. False alarm, I think it needs like another minute. On an episode of the Great British Baking Show, one of the contestants said that he listens for when cakes are done. And basically that means that if you hear like a lot of crackling from your cake, that means there's still moisture evaporating from your cake, which means it's not done. And when I opened the oven, it just there was a lot of sounds happening, which makes me feel like it's not done. Or maybe it's supposed to be that moist. I don't know! Okay, this time, okay. Poke it first, poke it first. Okay, we're gonna go for that. We're gonna go for that. Please, please, dear God in heaven. Please, please, please. Woo! All right, maybe, please, 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 please. Woo! I mean, it's baked. That's for sure. It's definitely thicker on this side than this side. You know what? Whatever. We're gonna roll it long ways. Okay. You know what? Let's start with the thinner side. Something about that feels correct. All right. She's rolled. Gonna set her aside to cool. So it was definitely thicker on one side than the other. either I did a poor job smoothing it out, or that tray is a little wonky. I don't know. It's gonna be a tad wonky, but you know what? That gives it character, right? Right? All right, we're gonna let that cool. It was very hot. I have to make the filling, but I don't like making the fillings until the cake is like almost completely cool, because I don't like the filling sitting, and then I have to put the filling in the fridge, and then it gets too stiff, and then it won't spread evenly, and then like you got to make sure your cake's completely cooled, otherwise your icing, your filling, whatever, is just gonna melt into it. It's a big old mess. Y'all want a tour of the Halloween decorations while we're waiting for that? Let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna start with the mantelpiece area of the family room. And we've got these cute little scarecrows and lights. Look at these adorable little scarecrows. Just a lot of fall foliage, very classic. And then down here we have this demon pumpkin. And hold on a second, this thing scared the shit out of me the other day. It's like motion censored. We have it off right now, but let me show you something. So imagine that just randomly going off when you're not ready for it. That's a thing that happened to me. Okay, we get it. Okay, I'm turning this thing off. This is my favorite Halloween decoration of all time. I need to show you guys what it does. It's adorable. You're gonna love it. Give me a second. Like, are you kidding me? This, like, we've had this my entire life. This is the only thing I want in my parents' will. Like, look at this little dancing ghost. And the music, oh my God, I look forward to this thing being brought out every year. I love it so much. I'm just gonna let that keep going because I love it so much. That concludes our little mini tour of the Halloween decorations. I'll be back once that cake is cool, then I'm able to start working on the filling. See you in a bit! I feel good about how cooled down the roll is. I unrolled it, so it's still a little warm in the middle, but I think if I just unroll it for like a few seconds before I put the filling on, it'll be fine. Basically, the filling on this is a cream cheese frosting. Not much to it. It's cream cheese, buttered, powdered sugar, and some vanilla. Let's get started. So we're gonna need a cup of powdered sugar. Where's my cup? One of these days I'm gonna be completely prepared for this stuff. But until then, we got our 1 cup powdered sugar, sifted. Recipe did specifically call to sift it. I don't do the whole like leveling off with powdered sugar because it's like, whatever. I don't think it super matters with the powdered sugar. Do that right into the mixing bowl. This is gonna take a minute. Usually I would like beat like the cream cheese and the butter together and then add the powdered sugar and all the other stuff, but this recipe just says dump it all in, mix it up. See, this is why you want to sift your powdered sugar. Look at all those little like balls. I just dump it in the sink, whatever. Next is 6 ounces of room temperature butter. Yeah. Okay, now we need 8 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. There it goes. Plop it right in there. And then this says a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna eyeball it because I don't feel like getting the teaspoon. That's about it. That's good. That's good. We're just gonna mix this up until it makes some type of filling frosting. Scrape it up. Scrape it up. I think we're good. Come on. All right. All done. All right. I'm gonna get the cake and get ready to apply the filling to the cake. Here's the cake. Let's unroll it. I don't know which way. Okay. I mean, it's holding up. Ooh. Okay. It is still a little bit warm, but like that center, how is that gonna cool when it's wrapped up like that? Oh, don't stick. Oh no, it is sticking. It's sticking to the it's fine. We're gonna cover it with, we'll cover it with some more powdered sugar, and that's just gonna cover like a lot of the sins. It's gonna hide a lot of the sins there. This is actually, all right, I'm gonna give this just like a minute to cool a little bit more before we add the filling, so the filling just doesn't melt into it, so BRB. I feel good about this. We're just gonna get started putting the filling in. Oh boy, okay. I'm just gonna do this now. That feels right. Now we're cooking with gas. I guess I should go right to the edge, maybe, or do a knot, so when I roll it up, it doesn't seep out the edge. Could always cut off the ends if it gets gross. I think that's what they do on Great British Bake. I don't know. It feels even. See, although spreading the cake felt even. All right, okay. Now we gotta roll this back up. Wash my hands a little bit first. All right, rolling this back up now. Rolling this back up. It's sticking to the towel. Sticking to the towel. This is okay, this is okay. This is okay. Everything's fine. Everything is honky-dory. No one will know. No one will know. No one will ever know. Unless they watch this video, and then everyone will know. Ah! Oh! Okay, okay. Did we do it? I think we did it. Okay, all right. Next step is we gotta wrap this in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for an hour. Let's do that. Let's get the, ooh, she's gonna be washed. She's wrapped in plastic wrap. She's gonna go in the fridge for an hour, and then we'll be back. Okay, it's been over an hour, so we're gonna get this puppy out of the fridge and see what we're dealing with here. Getting this out of the fridge. I'm cutting off the ends. Cutting off the ends to give it a nice even end so we can see that roll. Ooh! Ooh! Look! Oh my God, it looks so good, you guys. It looks like there's a lot of filling in the center, but whatever. All right, let's try it. Okay. I don't know, it tastes like pumpkin. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like or texture-wise be like, but okay, mission accomplished. All right, here is our final product. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed me making this pumpkin roll. Feel free to try it yourself at home. It wasn't as difficult as I thought it would be, so there's that. But until next time, have a great day, have a great week. Make sure you guys go vote, and bye-bye.